What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I have another holiday special. Today we have Snoopy and Woodstock from a Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving. Now, if I'm being honest, I wasn't going to make these figures for Thanksgiving. I was just making them because I wanted to make some sculpted figures, and it turns out that I did, so here they are. And if you're probably wondering, where is Charlie Brown? Because it literally says a Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving. There's two reasons why I didn't make him. Number one, I didn't have mid-white legs, and you're probably wondering, Charlie Brown wears black pants. And Snoopy is too tall, alright? So say if I decided to make, actually make a Snoopy and him. Snoopy in the cartoon is much more shorter, so I would have used little white legs, so Charlie Brown would have been a little bit taller. And then, I like how he turned out. And also, I'll probably wait till next year maybe to do a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, because technically this year, today, because it came out November 20th, 1973, it turns 49 years old, not 50, so next year it turns 50 years old, so probably next year I'll come out with Charlie Brown and maybe some others like Linus or something, I don't know. But also, the reason why I didn't make him yesterday or something is because I ran out of Sculpty for a sculpted figure that you guys aren't going to see for a while. And let's just say I already finished painting him. He is pretty cool, but I do have him for a planned showcase in the future. So stay tuned for that. Probably going to be coming in January or February next year. So yeah, without further ado, let's break down these figures. So first off, getting rid of the accessories. We have this turkey because I just wanted to include a Thanksgiving kind of accessory. Here it is. It's basically the holiday special. It's basically just this shield from Taskmaster from years ago. And then what I did is I just took this turkey piece and this piece from the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special because I had a full made turkey. And I already do have a turkey piece, but the chicken legs on the side were gone. So I just decided to do this. And I think it turned out really well as an accessory, but it's very top heavy, so let's get rid of that. I'm probably not going to display him with this because I just wanted to do this so it shows a little bit of Thanksgiving. Anyway, for the accessory, we'll take a look at Woodstock later because I'm actually more happy on how Snoopy turned out. But Snoopy is a fully sculpted head, and I actually did add his tail, which is not sculpted. Yeah, let's break it down. So this face was pretty hard to make. So yeah, this face was pretty easy to make. So if you guys want to know how I sculpt minifigure heads, I usually start on how thick the head is. And in this case, this head was very skinny and very fat. I actually had and I looked at a bunch of photos of him, and he has a kind of skinny, and then he has a fat snout. And it actually looks like him. So what I did is I just decided to use a cylinder piece and then sculpt around it and then just sculpt the front of it. And just look at whenever you're sculpting something, just look at what the base of the head is. For Curious George, I used the minifigure head because his head is a bit fat. So I just used like a random minifigure head and then just sculpted around it. That's what I basically do and start off with. Kind of not proud of the ears. I think the ears are alright. There is a bit of like paint, like big lumps of paint on his ears. I'm kind of not happy about that. But what the hardest part about painting this figure is painting the ears and painting the face, because white and black are hard colors to work with. Because if you're painting something completely white and you try the eyes, this took me like 4 times to nail the eyes, and they're still kind of not perfect. But they're in a spot that I kind of like them, so I guess I'm going to stick with them. But when you're trying to paint white, when you have a white base and you're trying to paint black over it, and you already painted white on it, and you mess up on the eye, then you're going to have to completely go over it with white again, and then after that do black over it again. And it's just, because then it turns into a dirty white, not white like this. So it took me a lot of tries to do that. And also it was hard to paint under the ears because I sculpted this whole head and then I needed to paint black ears underneath. And it was kind of hard. And of course I got into the crevices as much as possible, but as you guys can see, it's pretty dirty under there. The smile I nailed, like, I think the first try was pretty simple. Then the nose was easy as well. Just the eyes was kind of hard. But the torso, I just took a plain white torso, painted his red little thing up here, his red little collar, and did it on the other side as well. And then I took a tail, just like a plain old like lion tail. I think I got the lion's tail. Just cut the top of the tail off and just made it a bit tinier, and then also painted his black dot back here. And that's kind of it. Snoopy was pretty simple to make, and not really that many sculpted figures and pieces to use. Woodstock, kind of more morbid to what I did. I had to cut a bird's head off the little birds that you find like the Daily Bugle and like the dove. And then I just had to cut the head off, and then I had to cut the head off and sculpt it. And I tried to make a full sculpted Woodstock piece, but it didn't turn out that well. The mouth is alright. I'm kind of more happy of how Snoopy turned out than Woodstock because it's also a dirty yellow. But I've also learned my lesson and figured out you have to paint white over it and then paint that over it. And I did that with my newest character that you guys aren't going to be able to see yet. But overall, I'm pretty happy of how Woodstock and Snoopy turned out. And I wanted to make Woodstock and Snoopy because they're like, you couldn't make one without the other. And of course, I didn't want to display Snoopy on his own. So just to end the segment, let's just put the turkey in his hands. So yeah, there you go. There is Snoopy, and pretty simple character. Probably like Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving doesn't really get that much love in movies. Christmas mostly gets love in movies and stuff. Thanksgiving is kind of in the middle of Halloween and Christmas, and you're basically, Thanksgiving is kind of prepare for Christmas, which is kind of messed up in my personal opinion, because it's always good to spend time with family, and but of course, yeah, that's why Black Friday exists and all that stuff. But yeah, anyway, that's Snoopy. He's pretty cool. I did want to make a character for Freebird, but that movie's kind of forgettable. It's like the only Thanksgiving movie though. But who knows? But yeah, anyway, that's it for Snoopy. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out, and bye.